So, traders and investors, I wanted to keep this video short, but actually now I'm thinking potentially a longer version of it might actually make sense. I'm in Jamaica, Montego Bay. I'm just here as a +1 on my fiance's corporate annual getaway gig. So this is not coming out of my trading budgets or anything like that. Just to be clear, I don't want to give off the impression that my life is one luxurious run after another. That's not how it goes. What I was going to say to you, though, is that, and of course, as fate would have it, this weekend we have had Iran invade Israel, and so we're likely to see the market gap substantially. I'm already a bit off sides on some of my US dollar positions. Going into the weekend, I've had a fantastic year so far, but I'm likely to experience a very big loss depending on what happens with my margin, depending on the gapping. It's very unpredictable. That's at 5 p.m. today. And I'm really not looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. So, but that is life. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a black swan event. I would say it's more of a grey swan event. It's something we didn't think is likely to happen, or the degree to which it's going to happen. And of course, the odds of it happening when you're already exposed in the markets is very, very unusual, but it can happen. And I suppose in some situations you can't really avoid it. You can't not take any risks at all if you're not looking to gain any rewards. So you have to just, unfortunately, you're going to get exposed out there. Unfortunately, I've just had, as I said, I keep say unfortunately again, Adam. It's been a fantastic year so far. It's been 44% or something for the year on the trading accounts, and I'm potentially going to have to give back a massive, massive chunk of that. So we'll see what happens and how quickly I'm going to be able to recover that. Plus, of course, the whole world is very much at a tipping point. There's just so much kind of, the way that I would categorize this is anti-democratic versus pro-democratic. That's really it. So you're either anti-democratic, which means you're pro-totalitarian or authoritarian. You're pro-regime that is very much about taking rights away from human beings, or you're pro-democracy, which is very much about protecting rights for human beings and enhancing it. That's it. Those are the only two lanes you can be in. You've got to pick a lane, decide which one you're going to be in. I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are under this mistaken belief that the dictators will somehow not take their rights away. So they're like, no, I'll be fine. And currently they possess a lot of rights that will just be stripped from them instantly. They're under this belief that the monster that they're feeding is not going to destroy them, when of course that's clearly going to be the case. No situation in history has never not resulted that way. So it is kind of alarming, because a lot of people who are aware of how lucky they are share lives and have loved ones that are not really worried about the danger that they're busy feeding. So that's just kind of how it goes. So we're just going to have to see how this unfolds. And in the run up to the end of the year, we've got a lot of big elections happening around the world. And again, the only thing on the menu is pro-democracy or pro-authoritarian regimes. And this is a global event. This is probably the closest we are to World War III, which just seems like an abstract concept. But this is the closest. This is where we've come to. It's not necessarily religion that's causing this. It just seems to be that, some people are willing to, that seem to want to be able to give away everything they have to not very nice people. And then other people who are trying to save everything they have to protect the people they love. And so I think if you're on the side of violence, you're pro-violence, that's already a clue that you're potentially on the wrong side of things. And if you're on the side of trying to make sure that everybody is treated with respect and equally, which is not really the case, if you're on that side, you're probably on the right side of history. So we live in the upside down world, guys. And so that makes investing and trading a particularly tricky, or sort of rocky terrain is probably the best description I would give at this time. So just something to look, again, historically, some of these things in isolation are not unique. The market has experienced them. So what I always do in situations such as this is say, well, what would Warren Buffett do? Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, they've lived long enough to see most of this stuff. Ray Dalio, these are the kind of people that I value, because they tend to be able to manage these types of conditions relatively well. They've been through it, and it always does appear to pay to be calm and dispassionate in those situations. Something to be aware of, guys. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to do my weekly analysis now, but I want to wish all of you, I hope all of you are safe and sound in your homes, and I hope that none of you are having your rights stripped away from you or being endangered by people who think that that's a really cool idea and that we need to somehow go through that, which is a bizarre idea. And have a look at what's going on in the markets. Chances are that probably the best thing for me to do is to actually do my market analysis after the market is open, to see what the gapping up is about and to see where we stand, and then take it from there. All right, guys, I will see you and have a great week.